I've played a lot of gacha games over the course of the last few years. There have been at least a dozen or more that have released this year alone. Some of them have been really good, some of them have been really bad. With this in mind, I want to do an updated tier list, a mid-year update ranking all the games now that these games have released, or they have held test phases and I've played an extensive amount of them. We're gonna hit this hard and fast, just like we like to hit our waifus. We're gonna be brief, we're gonna be concise, beginning with Seven Knights Rebirth. I'd put this in the B tier. It's honestly a fun game. It looks good. You can grind premium currency in it. Action time in it, I would also put in the B tier. Fun action combat, decent looking characters. That's about as far as I got. Ether Gazer, I would put in the A tier. Incredible combat, very free to play friendly, fantastic looking characters, and a very hands-off dev team and publisher team. Unfortunately, it is going into a maintenance mode, but it's still a very good game. AFK Journey, I would put in the B tier. It's a fun game. I just never really invested more than like a dozen or so hours into it. There were other things to play at the time. All Firing, I would probably put in the B tier as well. It's a very fun game. Not many people play it. Not many people even played it when it released, but it had really fun combat and was just overall, it was very laggy, but it was overall a very fun experience. Ananta, I would put in the S tier. I played the demo and I had a ton of fun. I played for several hours across multiple different days, and hopefully with a beta test coming soon. Fun combat, fantastic looking characters, and a style of traversal that you don't currently have in gacha games. Arknights Enfield, also S tier. Fun combat, beautiful characters, incredible story as of right now. Also a phenomenal soundtrack, one of the best in the genre. OG Arknights, I'd also put up there. Pretty much the same things that Arknights Enfield does well, OG Arknights also does well. The only difference here is that it's a tower defense game instead of an action gacha game. Artery Gear Fusion, I'd probably put in the D tier. I just didn't really have much fun in it. It was a little bit gooner, but outside of that, it just wasn't really enjoyable. Ash Echoes was very fun. I'd put this in the B tier. Unfortunately, it is shutting down. So, I mean, even if it were rated higher, it wouldn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. Azure Primelia, I have only had a very, very finite amount of time with, but I would probably put this in the A tier. It's just the combat is really good. The gameplay itself is really good. We haven't seen the gacha implementation yet, but from everything that it offers, this might go up to S tier eventually, but as of right now, there have been multiple different test phases held, but none of them have been global. Even Ananta had a global test phase. Azure Lane definitely goes up here in the S tier. Super hyper gooner, very fun, good story, fun idle gameplay, very free to play friendly as well. Blue Archive, I would put up here in the A tier. This would have been S tier had it not been for their recent gacha changes, the rate changes. Incredible story, fun music, fantastic looking characters. The gacha used to have a spark system, so it would allow for you to obtain the character at exactly 200, even if you had attained the character before. Now they're implementing a 50-50, and if you attain the character before hitting that 200 spark, the spark is reset. So the gacha is much less free-to-play friendly, I think. Brandos 2, I'd put in the S tier. Phenomenal story, good voice acting, beautiful characters. Also relatively free-to-play friendly. I haven't really had much issue attaining any of the characters I wanted. Cat Fantasy, probably C tier. It's a very average, if slightly below average game. Very gooner though. Chaos Zero Nightmare, I'd probably put in S tier. Really good story, fun voice acting, also fun combat and gameplay loop. Chasing Kaleido Rider, I would put in the S tier. Incredible looking waifus. You can date your characters. You can actually like engage in some extracurricular activities with your characters. The motorcycle gameplay is actually kind of fun. The gacha is very free to play friendly. There's no 50-50 and a guarantee from what I recall during the beta. Devil May Cry Peak of Combat, Instant E. I don't know why this game exists. I don't know why anyone would spend money in it. Digimon Up also would put in the E category. Horribly pay to win, horrible quality everything, and they bought their reviews, so it's literally a negative in every aspect. Dragon Raja Re-Rise, I would put in the B category. It was honestly not a bad game. Had a decent story, decent looking characters. Duet Night Abyss, I would put in the A category. Very fun game, great looking characters. They made a lot of progress. They did have the hack debacle twice, as a matter of fact, but they seem to be on the right path now, and hopefully they can stabilize. Epic 7, also A tier, fantastic combat, beautiful characters, also just a very fun game with a good story. Etheria Restart, I would put in the B tier category, also fun story, also fun turn-based combat, also good looking characters. Eversoul, this should in theory be up in the S tier, but unfortunately the game is shutting down. So, or maybe I think it already has shut down, actually, as sad as it is to hear. Now, I realized very quickly that I am actually running out of space, so let's change how this is displayed a little bit. Then we have Evertail E. Huge scam. Would not suggest anyone at all play it. Fate Grand Order, I would put in the B category. No, A category, B category. Yeah. I just, for whatever reason, I think it's due to the fact that there's an overwhelming amount of story there. Like, I feel like it doesn't matter how much I play, you just never make any progress. It's literally like reading all the Harry Potter novels and then multiplying it by several dozen times. But it is a very fun game outside of all that story. Genshin Impact would also put in the S tier. I've actually been playing Genshin, Honkai Star Rail, and several other gacha games recently, and they hold up very well, and they're more fun than I actually recall them being. Good combat, good looking character. Have you seen the new characters? They look crazy. Good story, good voice acting, and beautiful world. Girls Frontline 2, I would put in the A tier. I don't like how predatory they've become, but they're still one of the best Gunnar gacha games out there, one of the best dormitory systems. But God, their gacha rates suck. Girls Frontline 1, I would put in the C tier. I never liked the game. I just couldn't get into it. Not because it's bad, I just couldn't get into it. Nikke, S tier. Easy S tier. One of the best stories in gacha. Very good looking characters. Fantastic voice acting. Very free to play friendly. You get dozens of pulls every single patch. The spark system at 200 allows for you to just outright buy the character. Great rates for characters. It's just all around. The other gacha games should aspire to be as good as Nikke is. We have Guardian Tales. I'm also going to put this in the S category because it's just really freaking good. Fantastic story, fun gameplay, and it's a kind of game that just isn't really done. Haikyuu Fly High, E category. Absolutely hated that game. Did not like it at all. Hololive Dreams is actually a gacha game that just released. I'll put this in the B tier category because I think it's a relatively high quality game. There's just, I think, so much lore behind all the characters, and it just basically feels like a game for fans of Hololive rather than someone like me who has no real understanding of who any of them are. Honkai Impact 3rd, I'd also put in the B tier category. I think it's a very good game. I just felt very overwhelmed with it. Very fun combat, fantastic looking characters. Honkai Star Rail is actually the gacha game I'm streaming recently. I would probably put this in the C tier. I'm just kidding. I put this in the S tier category. It's genuinely so much fun right now. I know it has its ups and downs, but I don't care. We're going to get to that ourselves, but it has arguably the best turn-based combat in the entire genre. Good story so far, and overall I've just been having a blast with it. We have Illusion Connect Read. This is an absolute cash grab. This is an abomination. I can't believe that they revived the game just to do what they did to it. Jujutsu Kaisen Phantom Parade, I'd put in the probably C tier category. I just didn't like it. That's all there is to it. I just didn't like the game. King's Raid, I'd also put in probably the B tier category. I had fun with it. I really did. Fun combat, good looking characters, overall great experience playing it. Limbus Company, I would put in the S tier. Definitely S tier. I've seen multiple people playing it recently. I have had people request I start playing it and streaming it. I've discussed the game with multiple different content creator friends of mine, and we all just agree that it deserves to be up here because it's one of the best gacha games out right now. Memento Mori, D tier. Beautiful music, beautiful artwork, and then horrible everything else. Mirasi, this is probably going in the S tier. It's really freaking good. Easily and undeniably the biggest Gunnar gacha game of the year. Incredible looking character. I was like, incredible. I like, you just look at my videos I did on it. Trust me, you're not going to be disappointed. You can also, you know, like date and raise your affinity with certain characters around the town. The combat's actually very intuitive, very hands-on, and very manual. It's all just really freaking good. Then we have Mongol Star Dive. I'd probably put this in the A tier. It's also a very good game. It has fantastic looking characters, fun action combat, a fun world to explore, and a good narrative. Then we have Mormons. This is definitely going in the S tier. Fantastic gacha game, one of the best roguelikes out there. Incredible story, phenomenal looking characters. This game is just so pleasing in so many ways, and its gacha is actually incredibly free-to-play friendly as well. Yo, I don't mean to interrupt the video, but I need to take a moment here to thank all my incredible patrons over on Patreon whose support continues to allow for me to do regular videos like this every single day on this channel. Thank y'all so much, including our YouTube channel members. You guys mean the world to me. So do you guys as viewers as well. Now, without further ado, let's continue. Then we have the new My Hero Academia Survival United, or United Survival. This was a terrible game. This is a cash grab. I don't know why anyone would bother playing it. New Rule Cloud, I'd put in the C tier. It was decent. I had some fun in it, but then I stopped because I just got bored. Neverness to Everness, I would probably put down here in the E tier. No, I'm just kidding. I would put it in the S tier category. I've played a lot of it now. I'm like account level 35 going on account level 36, and I've been having fun. The story, the most recent one, the 1000 minus 1 nights, so freaking good. And I've added it into my regular streaming rotation and my regular logging in to do daily rotation. So I only do that for games that I really, really do enjoy. Ni no Kuni Crossworlds, I would put in the C tier. I would keep it in D or maybe even E, but they did remove the blockchain and the crypto and everything. So it's honestly a fun game, or it was a fun game when I last played it. One Punch Man World, I'd put in D tier. It's not a very fun game. I don't even know if it's still around. I don't even know if they're planning an EOS or if it still continues to get content. We have Overfield. I'd put this in the B tier. This was a very cute game. It was a very fun game, very cute game. It was an MMO, like a large-scale multiplayer game. And you don't get many of those. Punishing Grey Raven, I would probably put in the I'd put in the S tier. I've also been streaming that alongside Honkai Star Rail recently, and it's so much better than I remember it being, except for the intro story. Like the first couple chapters, they irk me. Little fat robot person, oh my god, it's so annoying. But like outside of that, some of the best action combat in the genre, some of the best looking character models, it's really, really that good. Path to Nowhere, I would put in the probably S tier as well. That and Arknights, the best tower defense gacha games you'll find. It's a very different kind of tower defense gacha game, but it's as good in a lot of different areas. Raid Shadow Legends, E tier, doesn't need an explanation. If it does, then it's just terrible. Free Memento White Shadow, I would put in the C tier. It just, over time, it just does not hold up anymore, unfortunately. It was the open world, turn-based gacha that was kind of like an amalgamation of Genshin and Honkai Star Rail. Reverse 1999, definitely S tier. One of the best turn-based gacha games out there, one of the best stories out there, some of the best voice acting. It's just really that good. Silver Palace, you know what? I would put this in I'll put it in the S tier. The combat was really fun. The world was beautiful. The characters look phenomenal. The voice acting is top tier. The detective style and presentation is fantastic. I think the only issue that anyone has is the vague gacha. We have a guaranteed 100 and lots of currency in the beta that I could see. So you're guaranteed a character by 100 pulls, and that doesn't reset between banners. So the gacha isn't bad. Snowbreak, I would put in the B tier now, especially after everything that's going on with the 5 months of silence or so from the devs. It's just, oh my god, how disappointing to see this game fall. Solo Leveling Arise, I'd also put in the B tier. Fun story, good voice acting, fun combat. Overall, the world itself is pretty good. Then we have Star Sailors. I put this in the D category. It had some decent looking characters, but overall, it just was not a very fun game. Star Savior was a very fun game. Put this in the A tier. I think the only issue I had with it, and I ultimately ended up having to quit it, but the only issue I had with this game was the fact that they didn't release content quickly enough. But the content they did release was phenomenal. Like, it was genuinely very good. Starseed Asnia Triggers next. I'd put this in the C tier category. It was relatively gooner, but everything else was just very mediocre. Stella Sora, I would put in the A tier. Very fun game. I think the characters look good. I think the combat is very fun. I like the roguelike mode. I think the community is very toxic and very upsetty spaghetti. They don't like anyone that doesn't glaze and just guzzle at the source, which is kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. And we have Sword Staff. This is actually a very fun game. I played this recently and I had an absolute blast. I played it for dozens of hours and I did like 2 different videos on it, 3 different videos on it. It was really, really fun. Time In and Squad was terrible. E tier, absolute abomination of a game, especially when Action Time In was that much better than it. The Eminence in Shadow, I also really dislike this game. It's like your typical anime adapted gacha game that is just bad. Like, just, that's it. It's just bad. The Legend of Neverland, also E tier. It's also just bad. It's like Genshin, but autoplay and far inferior. Then we have the 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross. I'd put this in the A tier. It is really, really good. It is very fun. It literally just adapts the anime and has good combat, has good character models, has a lot of content. 7 Deadly Sins Origin, I actually think is better than it. I had a lot of fun in Origin, and I like the fact that the multiplayer is seamless, as in the world itself syncs the content and the story of each person involved. So Mrs. Stix and I started the game at the same time, and our stories were synced completely. Everything that happened in one world happened in the other, and everything was fully synced between the two of us. It was something that more gacha games need to genuinely do. Tokyo Ghoul, break the chains. E tier, not S tier. Horrible game. Tower of Fantasy, I would put in the... Now that NTE has come out, I can see just how bad TOF is comparatively, and other open world gacha games that released like before Genshin were, before WoA are comparatively. I put them in the B tier category though, because it's not a bad game. It just doesn't hold up when compared to NTE. Trickle Chibi Go, I'd also put in the B tier category. I know it was gonna upset a few people. It was just too comical and too, I don't know. it was relatively free to play friendly. It had some good fun combat. I don't know, man. Uma Musume, I'd also put in the B tier category. That's just because the game wasn't really for me. I liked how Star Savior did the Uma Musume style system, and I don't know, like Uma I think was just very overwhelming for me. If gacha games are too overwhelming, I just don't enjoy them as much, I think. Where Winds Meet, I'd put in the S tier category. I know it's not a gacha game, but much like Ananta, it does have for cosmetics, so I felt obligated to include it here. And Mrs. Stix loves Where Winds Meet, so naturally has some of the best combat in the genre, some of the best graphics in the genre, and a relatively good story. It's hit and miss each chapter, but from what I've seen, what I've heard, and what I've played, like, this is a very good game as well. We have Wuthering Waves, which definitely needs to be in the S tier category. It's one of my favorite gacha games, after all. It's arguably the best action combat, one of the best stories, incredible voice acting, phenomenal world. It's literally like it's an SSS in almost every single category. Zenless, pretty much the same, but then the S tier category. Beautiful world. It's much smaller than an open world gacha game. Incredible combat, fantastic looking characters. I mean, have you seen the new character, Remil? God damn, dude. Easily one of, if not Hoyo's best gacha game. And that is it. That is my tier list of gacha games for 2026 as of August 7th. It's a lot of games, I know. And by the end of this year, we're gonna have even more. And by extension, I'm gonna then do an updated tier list for the end of the year. I am curious though, what gacha games you guys play and where you would rank them in terms of S through E. And if you have the time, list why you rank it as such. I know you think that you just hit the end of the video, and technically, yeah, you have. And I know your first reaction is to close out of it at this juncture, but don't. No, instead, I urge you to take a moment here and click one of the videos on screen that are coming up in just a moment, so you remain up to date with everything going on in the gacha genre. Trust me, you're not going to regret doing so. Stay flaccid.